Shouts. Ab Tlanugwa. Hello, I'm called Ab, and in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the more unique sounds in the Haisla language. One of them is what we call a tilted L. As you can see here on my screen, I have a PDF file open. So these are what we call lateral symbols. And the symbol that I'm going to be taking a look at here is this one. So this is what we call the tilted L. So it's a lowercase l and has this squiggly line going through it. This is called a tilde. And when they're combined, they create what's called a tilted L. And in our language, the way it sounds is. So I want to show you an exercise that you can use to help you create this sound if you're having a little bit of trouble with it. So I've got my Audacity program open here. So I've got two sound files that I've recorded. This first one is where I'm saying the English words wealth, health, and stealth. And I start off by saying it normally with English pronunciation, and then slowly but surely I start to make more of that sound. So I'm going to basically mute this bottom track here, and I'll zoom in a little bit here on my sound file. Okay, so these first three, these are the wealth, health, and stealth words. It's actually taken me a lot of practice to be able to pronounce the English words because I've gotten so used to making the sound that it's kind of taken over where a regular LTH sound would actually come in. So let's take a listen to this first set of three words in English. Wealth, health, stealth. So we have wealth, health, and stealth. I'm actually still having a little bit of trouble easing off on the sound, but that's really the best I can do in English. Wealth, health, and stealth. Okay, that was a lot better, actually. So the next set of words, let's have a listen to that. Wealth, health, stealth. So I'm going a little bit harder on the LTH at the end, but it still sounds pretty much like the English words. And the next set, I'll take a listen. Wealth, health, stealth. Now you can hear I'm getting a little bit more of that sound in there. So it's sounding less like English and more like Haisla. Wealth, health, stealth. And now let's listen to the last three words. Wealth, health, stealth. Okay, so now I'm going really hard on that sound. So I'm going wealth, health, stealth. So you're really starting to hear that Haisla pronunciation come out. So this is an exercise that I do, and I think it's going to be helpful to people. If you listen to this sound file, you'll hear just a gradual progression going from English pronunciation into Haisla. And to be honest, I'm kind of exaggerating the sound at the very end. When I get to the last three, I'm going really hard on that sound. Normally, you wouldn't pronounce it like that. I'm exaggerating it so that you get a better idea of the sound. And in my mind, it's always better to really lean into that sound at first when you're starting to learn it. So that way, as you get better at it, you can dial it back so that it's not quite as harsh. So the last three are kind of a little bit over the top in terms of pronunciation, but there's a purpose to it. I want people to get an idea of that sound. And I'm going to switch over to my Word document. So I've got some words on the screen here. So these are Heisler words, where I've got the tilted L at the beginning of a word. I have it in the middle and at the end. So I'll just go through these without the sound file. So the first word is slow. Slow means strong. The second word, whithlap. Whithlap means uncle. And the last word is kainos. Kainos means pillow. So this is the same kind of idea, where you can start off with more of an English pronunciation. You can make more of an LTH sound, and you can say it like flow, flow. I actually did it, I didn't do it as softly as I wanted to. As I said, I've gotten so used to making this sound that it's hard for me not to make it. So I'm going to try it again. Flow, 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 flow. Okay, that was better. Flow, whithlap, whithlap, kainos. So that was more of an English pronunciation. I'm going pretty soft. And then the next time I do it, I'll add a little bit more of that sound. So just so you know, to explain how you make this sound, you really should watch what my tongue is doing. So at right around here inside your mouth, there's a little bump. It's right behind your upper front teeth. And you'll feel some hard tissue there. And there's just a bump kind of sticking out from the back of your teeth. So what you want to do is you want to take the tip of your tongue, the back of your tongue, and you want to put the back of the tip of your tongue against that bump. It's right back there. So it should look like this. And what you're doing is you're blowing air out around the sides of your tongue. So when you're saying this in more of an English way, your tongue is kind of sticking out between your teeth. Flow. Whithlap, kainos. And then as you start to introduce that sound more, a little bit at a time, your tongue starts to move, and you start to hear a little bit more of that kind of what I call slurpy sound. That sound. So slow, whithlap, kainos. So it's a little bit more of a Heisler sound to it. And then the third time is more like slow, whithlap, kainos. If you watch my tongue, watch my mouth while I'm saying each word. Slow, whithlap, kainos. And the fourth time is where we really go hard. We just exaggerate it to an extreme. And we go slow, whistlab, kano. So again, we're going a little bit over the top, but there's a purpose to it. We're really trying to push that sound so we get used to it. And you can always dial it back. You can always go back. So in my mind, that's a good way of learning the sound, is to, when you're doing it, try to overdo it and then pull it back. So hopefully that is a help to everybody in terms of figuring out how to make that sound. And I'll be putting up these sound files on SoundCloud, and I'll be making a post on the Islak website that you can use to practice along with. So I'll be posting that sometime soon, sometime in the near future. Until then, remember, learning is its own reward. Exwiguelas. Wah.